Hey everyone, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home, and today I've got a Blu-ray and 4K collection update to do for you. It's been a little while since I showed off some of the new additions to my collection, and there's a lot of stuff that you may not get to see get its own individual 4K or Blu-ray review video that I want to show off, and that's why I love making these videos. So if you want to sit back, watch some really cool recent pickups and things that I've added to my collection, here it goes. This is the Blu-ray collection update. Now, if you like Blu-ray collecting in 4K, physical media, home theater, all those sorts of topics, please subscribe to the channel. We are getting very close to our goal of 100,000 subscribers. In fact, as of making this video, we're just about to cross 85,000. So just about 15,000 more, and I know you're out there. So hit that subscribe button and follow along this movie collection journey and all the content that I have to offer. So I'm going to jump right into things here and just show you what's come in over the last few weeks, stuff that I bought, stuff that I got in for review, and some really cool box sets and special editions. Now first, Dune on 4K. I did a full review video on this, but I did want to show it again in this collection update because it is a, first of all, great movie, great 4K visual, amazing sound, and a really, really solid 4K disc all around. Even better that it's a really solid movie all around. So check out the 4K review video for this, but I did add Dune to my collection. Now, also in from HD Movie Source, props to them for hooking me up with this, and I will be doing a full review of it, but I have The Great Escape on 4K. So I did get a chance to check this out and compare it to my Criterion Collection Blu-ray, and let me just say, without spoiling the 4K review, I sold my Criterion Collection Blu-ray. So stay tuned for the full review and comparison of this to the Criterion Blu-ray, but I was really excited to get this thanks to HD Movie Source. Now this one literally just showed up today, but it is the new 4K Steelbook of the movie The Punisher. This is the one with John Travolta, and this is another Lionsgate Steelbook, so it has some really unique artwork. It does some really cool things again with the slipcover, and the artwork all around is actually pretty cool. But you gotta love when they use that slipcover to really create some unique artwork. They've been doing really, really cool things for Steelbook collectors, so props to Lionsgate for keeping that community alive, and certainly continuing interest in Steelbooks for the Steelbook community, and sort of making me more of a fan of Steelbooks. I've been kind of dumping my standard editions and going with these Lionsgate Steelbooks, because if you have a Steelbook with good enough artwork in a really unique design like this, or American Psycho, or Terminator 2, like, I'll go with those because I do like them. I just don't really love paying the premiums for them, and they've gone kind of crazy on eBay lately. Now this one here was a late arrival for my Groove.com order, but I did get Prince of Egypt. Now this was the last movie. It was back ordered. I talked about it in my Groove.com video, but I did finally get this in, so excited to have this in my collection. And Groove doesn't have their 3 for $15.99 Blu-ray sale running right now, but Groove.com has a ton of other sales. So if you hit the link down in the description, there's a lot of good things going on right now for Valentine's Day. It looks like a lot of rom-coms and things of that nature on sale, and you can get some really good deals on Blu-rays, DVDs, and even 4K discs right now. Now I got this in one for review from Universal, and it is the new extended cut of Halloween Kills. So the extended cut doesn't add a whole lot, but it also does have the alternate ending, which again, not drastically different from the theatrical ending. So they kind of made a big deal of this alternate ending. It's 95% the same. I actually prefer the alternate ending to the theatrical after having seen them both, but we'll be checking this out in sort of a group 4K video. So I have some that I need to go through, and I have so many that I need to get to that I'm going to sort of group some videos together. So this one will be coming soon, but you know, we'll talk about that in the video. Now also in from Universal and MGM, I got the Addams Family 2 on Blu-ray. So the Addams Family's had a little bit of a revival here with the animated series coming from MGM and Universal, but you know, is it the best? No, I still prefer the live action originals, but you know, it's a fun movie to have on hand, especially you know, with my son. He'll watch this when he's older, I'm sure, but actually a great voice cast. Oscar Isaac, Charlize Theron, Chloe Grace Moretz, Nick Kroll, Snoop Dogg, he's Cousin It, Bette Midler, and Bill Hader. So pretty impressive cast. Now for you cult and sort of horror fans out there, I've got some really cool new releases from Blue Underground and Arrow Video. First off, we got the Toolbox Murders, one of the goriest, sort of most infamous exploitation type horror movies of all time. But new 4K release from Blue Underground. They've done great work with 4K. I haven't had a chance to check this out yet, but I will be reviewing it and posting it in sort of a large horror and cult 4K video. I have quite a few from Arrow and other titles that I need to get to, so I'm going to combine those in a video and let you guys know which are worth upgrading and which are really high value, sort of iffy audio video. We'll go through everything but in one condensed video, so if you like horror in 4K, stay tuned for that one. Now from Arrow Video, I got this movie directed by Michael Venus, and it is Sleep. First of all, one of the best looking slipcovers I've ever seen. Incredible, incredible artwork. This is a German movie and a new feature. This is a first feature from this director, but I've heard great reviews about it. It's supposedly really, really good. And Arrow Video picked it up, so that must mean something. Sort of, I guess, kind of a gothic fairy tale folk horror type of vibe. So that's kind of right up my alley, and I can't wait to check this one out. Now, also from Arrow is a Mario Bava movie, Shock. Now, he's a very, very famous horror, usually sort of, again, gothic folk horror type of director, but he had a career that was across 4 decades. This one came out in the 80s, I believe, and this is actually a new 2K scan from the 35mm camera negative. So one of his lesser known movies, maybe, but if you're a collector of his movies, obviously you need to have this great slipcover from Arrow and a new high def restoration with just tons of features. There's video essays, video interviews, audio commentaries, all kinds of stuff. So very cool release. Then last from Arrow, or I shouldn't say last, I have one more, but second to last from Arrow, we got Red Angel from 1966, Japanese sort of, I guess you could call it horror just because of how horrific it is, but it's a wartime thriller, drama, horror, and it sort of covers the early beginnings of World War II, 1939 in Japan, where they have the Chinese soldiers kind of invading and attacking and all the stuff that went down there, which was horrific. So it's very much a disturbing, tough war movie to watch, but a very culturally relevant one, historically relevant, and really cool to see a title like this. You know, I had never heard of it, but it sounds like it's extremely impressive and it has great reviews. So I'm excited to check it out, and I love these cool sort of cult underground releases that Arrow does and their restorations. So you gotta love that. Now, this is the last one from Arrow Video, but certainly not the least, because check out this bad boy. We've got the Shawscope Volume 1 Blu-ray box set. First of all, one of the nicer box sets that I've ever seen. I love the way this looks. And the Shaw brothers, they're a filmmaking team that was out of Hong Kong. They covered, I believe, like the 50s, 60s, and 70s. But this set is just immaculate. Like some of the stuff that's in here. There's some kung fu movies. There's a good range of stuff. A lot of martial arts type movies. King Boxer, The Boxer from Shantung, Shaolin Temple, Mighty Peking Man, Challenge of the Masters. I mean, you'll definitely see that a lot of like the artwork and their influence can certainly be seen in movies to this day. Chinatown Kid, Crippled Avengers, Heroes of the East. It's got a music CD, which is very cool. So just like so much stuff in here, all in this cool booklet. And then it also does come with another book like Arrow Video typically does. This has about 50 pages and it's full of like essays and behind the scenes stuff about the Shaw brothers and their movies. So a really exciting release, especially if you're a fan of you know, Asian cinema, martial arts, that type of stuff. And just a really cool, from a historical standpoint, in film history. But the fact that it's only volume 1, that's pretty cool because it speaks to the fact that they may actually have some more Shaw Brothers stuff coming. So a very, very cool set from Arrow Video, and definitely recommend it if you like these guys, if you like their movies, if you like this genre, these sort of cult martial arts type movies, just incredible. I watched a couple of them. They're very entertaining, I'll say. It's maybe not my cup of tea, but it is a great set, and I can see where that would appeal to certainly fans of this genre. But I'm very happy to have it in my collection either way, because it's a really cool historical piece. And now to round things out on this collection update, we've got a stack of movies all the way from Australia, thanks to Imprint Films for continuing to support the channel and my collection, and honestly just physical media, because I love what they're doing over in Australia, especially the fact that all of these releases are region free. Even though they're Blu-ray, they're region free. You can play them anywhere in the world, and they're quickly competing with, I would say, people like Kino or Olive Films, which you don't hear much of anymore. They're sort of filling a gap that was very much needed. So I've got 8 of their releases from November and December, still waiting on my January ones from 2022. But first we've got Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Of course, again, in this beautiful slip box. If I could get this out. Really nice artwork on the inside. It has the date on the spine. I love the way these look. 1971, numbered, very much like, you know, a Criterion Collection does, or Kino Lorber, or some of those other high-end boutique labels. So Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Then we've got Body Parts. This actually has a new HD scan, so 2K scan from Paramount Pictures. This is kind of a crazy body horror movie, but again, 1991 type of movie that maybe like a Shout Factory or an Arrow Video maybe even would put out, but really cool to see Imprint do it. Then from 2000, we've got The Gift. Again, a new HD scan here. Great cast on this one. This has Katie Holmes, Keanu Reeves, Giovanni Ribisi, Cate Blanchett, Greg Kinnear, and Hilary Swank. So really, really good cast in an interesting sort of drama type thriller. Then from 1978, we got The Medusa Touch, a classic Richard Burton movie. He has some telekinetic power, so a bit of a horror thriller again, but also a new HD transfer done by ITV Studios. And I should mention, these also are packed with like special features. So this has 2 audio commentaries, a video essay, an interview with art director Peter Mullins, behind the scenes and theatrical trailer. So they do include special features as well. Now from 1974, we got The Parallax View, classic Warren Beatty movie. Now this one's actually a 4K restoration from the original 35mm camera negative. So that's really nice. It was a great looking disc and one of the better ones that I've seen Imprint put out there. Plus the movie's actually very entertaining. It's sort of like a political thriller. Then from 1964, we have Lady in a Cage. It's really ahead of its time though with this sort of like single setting horror movie. Sort of like there's that one, I forget what it's called, Frozen, I think, that's set on a ski lift. There's another one about 2 sisters who get stuck in a pool overnight. I mean, this has been played on a lot in recent horror. Buried with Ryan Reynolds. Like, it's a very kind of common theme now, this single setting. Even like Gerald's Game recently, movie like that. And so 1964, way ahead of its time, but a very interesting movie. So then from 1968, we got House of Cards. And no, not the Kevin Spacey one with that creep. This is a classic movie with Orson Welles, Inger Stevens, and George Peppard. This has a new high-definition scan done by Universal Studios, and this is another sort of, I would call it a political thriller, and kind of interesting because that seemed to be a theme for the last couple months for Imprint. They definitely went heavy on sort of like that political thriller with The Parallax View, and I think that's really cool. I love those types of movies like The Manchurian Candidate. I love a good like 60s, 70s political thriller because the world was just so crazy then that, you know, these conspiracy theories and things that were getting thrown around, like all these thrillers, the CIA, it's just a really, really cool time period to explore and film in all this sort of like paranoia that was going on. And then from 1964, starring Anne Margaret and John Forsythe, we've got Kitten with a Whip, which is sort of an exploitation, you know, bad girl type movie. This has a 1080p new high-def scan, audio commentary, and also has Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, The Rise of the Delinquent Girls in Film, which is a video essay kind of talking about those, like, there was this like wave of like the bad girls in movies, and there was like these exploitation type movies, which were a really cool subgenre of like the 60s. So very cool one. Again, something I could have seen like maybe like a Severin or an Arrow Video releasing. It's sort of right in line with some of their label and what they've been producing. But very, very cool release. Even Vinegar Syndrome actually probably would be the right person to release this. That's more in line with their stuff, but love having these movies because it's really cool to explore these little subgenres that popped out throughout the years. So that is it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed this little collection update. Maybe you get some ideas on what to buy, but I'm going to put some links down in the description. If it's available on Amazon, I'll put an Amazon link. I'm also going to put a link to groove.com, which is where I got Prince of Egypt and a lot of other great deals, and a link to check out Imprint Films. Some of theirs will be available on Amazon, but you can get them imported fairly easily from a few different sources. I've seen local video stores carrying them now, and they're picking up some steam, so it's great they're region free, and they certainly have plenty plenty of great movies under their label, full of special features and often with new scans. So that's it. Make sure you subscribe and have your notifications on if you want to see more videos like this and all these 4K reviews and Blu-ray unboxings and things like that I have to work on over the next few days. I'll be pumping out some pretty nice content over the next coming weeks. Plus, there's tons of stuff coming to 4K. So excited for all that. Make sure you subscribe to stay up to date. Make sure you follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description. And definitely check out all the other ways you can help support my channel. I really appreciate that. But number one is watching this video and supporting me that way and liking and sharing it. So I appreciate all that do that. Anyways, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy out there, and I will talk to you all soon.